I want to welcome to Cardinal Talks. Our speaker today is Jim Dwyer, who's Associate Provost for Enrollment Management here at SPCU. He's been here for 55 years, 55.
I started here in 1971 as a student, and then this is my 35th year as got my undergrad and my master's, and then this is my 35th year of working here. So I came here when there was 2 buildings and about 600 students, and I had hair. Okay, back then, okay.
Well, we're gonna turn over. Yeah. Back in the day, right?
Yeah, back in the day. Okay.
We're gonna turn it over to Jim right now, but make sure you think of your questions, pay attention, and he will be very happy to kind of engage in conversation after his presentation's over.
Is that? Welcome. I come here with all humility, okay? And I want to share some things that are really, really profoundly important to me in my daily life. And the people that work for me or know me, I always ask them a question every day. Did you make a difference in someone's life? So last night when I was walking out, Kelly comes up to me, Jim, I made a difference. Student was going to have to go home. Their finances were all screwed up. I worked with the dad. In the end, the dad was in tears and said, thank you, my daughter can stay. And so I'm very passionate about making a difference and transforming life. But before we get there, I want to share some profound wisdom. So when you look at this book, and Tao Te Ching, which many of you probably do not know, but it's the second most translated volume in our society. And it was written 2,500 years ago by a gentleman in China, and it's translated as The Way, the Book of Wisdom. And basically it says your life is changed by how you consciously practice gratitude, humility, compassion, and love. And it's very profound wisdom. That was written 2,500 years ago. If you know anything about yoga and you ever read the wisdom, it's pretty good stuff. Written probably thousands of years ago, centuries and centuries of years ago, that focus on your breathing, your thinking, your exercise, your nutrition. And they'll say many times, what you think is what you become. And that's true. And how do you act positively in your daily life? So what I'm sharing with you today is just a nurturing of what has been here probably since the existence of man. And wisdom, and I read these on a daily basis because sometimes we need that wisdom to keep us focused on what's important in life. So last week when I was in Dallas with my wife, who is a physician, and I was at a conference, I'm reading the Wall Street Journal, and if we think life is bad, think if you lived in the Gaza Strip right now, okay? 25-mile strip of land, okay? That basically 18,000 homes were destroyed in about a week's time because of the conflict in the Middle East. 500,000 people still do not have running water. This gentleman had one of the most flourishing businesses there since the 80s. It is gone, gone. And he's basically living off of what we would call food stamps. So don't think your life is bad, please, because in other parts of the world, there's people that truly are suffering because of just humans not being able to have peace and love and support each other. So to start out today, okay, I had this quote this week, and I think it puts in perspective what I'm talking to you about today. So here was a guy that, as you know, Apple, who doesn't have, I mean, I got my Apple phone right there, okay? But look at what his wisdom says to us. He says, remembering that I'll be dead. This is right before he died. Remember, he got pancreatic cancer in the mid-50s. His life was robbed. He says, the most important tool I'll ever encounter to help me make the big choices in life. Almost everything, all internal expectations, all pride, all fear, embarrassment, failure, all things we deal with in our personal life on a daily basis, he said, these just fall away in the face of death. He says, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There's no reason to follow your heart. Now think about that. I shouldn't be morbid here, but we're all going to die. Right? So when you put it in perspective and all the pressures and the illusions we put about what's right and wrong, sometimes we get carried away in too much negative thinking. So These are some of the wisdoms that have been here for a long time, but these are what I think are ingredients for you to have a better life, but also transforming lives of people that you encounter on a daily basis. So, think about this. You're here to make a difference, to either improve the world or worsen it, and whether or not you consciously choose to accept or accomplish one another. So you here all have individual choices to make our society better. And I see people from around the world that are here. It doesn't matter. I've been in Saudi Arabia. I've been in China. Everybody's the same. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be cared. Everybody wants to be compassionate. It's no different in any other part of the world that you're in. So let's start talking about those ingredients. While you're planning for the future, savor the moment. It's too easy to worry about tomorrow and totally miss the gift today has given. Did anybody see this week the rainbow here this week? It was stunning. And I hadn't seen a rainbow like that in a long time. And I was walking out with a few people, and we sat there for a moment and said, wow. And how often do we not? We get so caught up in what we did in the past, so caught up with what's going to happen in the future. One of the profound things now is mindfulness, being in the moment. Right now you're here. You're listening to me, but it's important to learn to live in the moment and not be distracted by 5 million things that happen to you on a daily basis. Friends matter. They help sustain you in good times and in bad. They help make the world seem like a kinder, gentler place. These are the people who pick us up when we stumble, tell us the truth, even when it hurts, stay by our side, even when we have nothing to give. Today, in the front page of the newspaper, Detroit News, is a story of a guy that was 30 years old, weighed over 600 pounds, and was an alcoholic. And he was a music teacher. He got on a game, playing, and his opponent was from London who has muscular dystrophy, And in that time, she found out about what he was, and as a friend said, you have to change your life. What are you doing to your life? Story today, he's running his second half marathon. He's lost, I think, what is he? He's lost 390 pounds in 18 months. And he quit drinking, and his life has been changed. And it was changed, why? Because he had a friend. And you have to remember, you all have friends, And those friends are important in good times as well as bad times. Find mentors and guides, choose your mentors carefully, and model your behavior and your advice. That room right next door that says Richard P. Thompson room, if you ever see his picture out there, he hired me. And he was my mentor. He's still my mentor. His office is right next to me. But he transformed my life, my career path. And without him, and without his direction, without his guidance, without his tough love at times, without his caring and compassionate attitude, I would not have stayed in higher ed. I was going to leave higher ed 3 times. And he said no. And he was a true mentor. So all of you, it's important that you have mentors. Whether it's someone like myself, whether it's a faculty member, whether it's a church member, it doesn't matter. You need to be with mentors, and you need to be with mentors that are positive and have done something so you can learn from them. It's really important to have mentors in your life. Notice what you love doing, what engages you so deeply. It doesn't feel like work. This is your purpose, what you were put on earth to do. Seek it, live it, work it, blend it in your play. No obstacle will seem insurmountable. Your work will be something to be proud of. What I'm telling you as you move on, whether it's an RSO, when you do something you're passionate about and you care about, it's not work. My job, and I'm being so sincere about this, I still love talking to a parent and get so still turned on about the experiences and opportunities of Saginaw Valley as I did in 1980. And I've been lucky, But all of you have to find something that you're going to love. And when you do, it's not about money. Money doesn't mean, it's about doing something every day with a purpose and a passion, Always write thank you notes. It shows character and class. Sincere gratitude enriches both the recipient and giver, and express it with class. It's really important that sometimes you take a few moments and you saw something that you could write on a Facebook, or you could do an Instagram, or you could write. This was from an international student that sent to me, and it's not about me, but it tells you the power when you care. She wrote, "There are so many reasons I want to thank you. Remember, every time when I looked for help, you always were there. Every time when I was confused about the future, you always gave me suggestions. Every time when I self-doubted, you were always there to give me confidence about myself. Thank you for all above, and most important, thanks for being you." She wrote that. That's pretty profound. And that was because of actions that were taken that could really transform that person. There are times when people write thank yous to you. What does it do to you? Think about that for a minute. When someone takes a moment and says something kind, or acknowledges you, or appreciates you, that's pretty profound. And we don't do it enough. I had a lady who 30 years ago came up to me about a month ago, and she said, "I want to let you know something. You wrote me something 30 years ago. I still have. I still have. In that moment, you gave it to me. You had no idea what I was experiencing in my life. Thank you." So you have to remember the profound opportunities that you have to touch people in those situations. Here is an important one. I always tell people, don't shy away from plain hard work. Nothing worthwhile comes easy. Nothing beats dedicated, focused effort. Sadly, it's a rare commodity. That's why there's little competition in the extra mile. I try to tell young professionals all the time, or people, you outwork people, okay? It's not about the gifted or the intelligence or the gifts. And I had in the end, all your success. My mentor used to say to me, "You don't promote you. People are going to promote you that you work with. And the word will get around what your abilities are." And so don't ever forget, if you want to succeed in the classroom. I told a student the other day, I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear excuses. I said, I'm tired of it. You start doing what you're supposed to do, and you start putting in a work ethic, you'll be amazed what your potential is once you do that. Be curious, listen, ask questions. People will tell you amazing and interesting things, and the whole world opens up. How about the next week you do this? You just start talking, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" You know what people do? What do? They tell you everything. And they feel so good about talking to you, okay? And I often tell people, some people get so arrogant, too much pride, and they just don't ask, "Hey, how you doing? How's things going?" And let people talk and listen to what they have to say. Oftentimes, we have two ears and one mouth. We should be listening more here than we speak, okay? Because people need to be heard, okay? They need, and you have that rare opportunity, okay, to listen, all right? In grade 8, failure. I can tell you in my life, I've far more learned from my failures than my successes, okay? Because my failures, own it, learn from it, understand how to cope with failure. Don't make excuses. We get here at Saginaw Valley, the mom calls me up. "You know what happened today?" What do you mean what happened to him? It's his responsibility. It's his deal. He failed. So what? You got to get up, brush yourself off, and go back at it. That's what makes people different than the average person that's willing to go the extra mile. Don't make excuses. Whatever you do, don't blame. Don't we get in the blame game? Oh, this and that and this. No, it was you. It was you. In the end, it was you that have to deal with it. All achievement is based on a foundation of knowledge and experience, and there's no better teacher than those moments when things go wrong. And I can tell you professionally and in my personal life, I learned far more of my failures than I ever have from my successes. This is really the 3 P's. Purpose, passion, and persistence. You need to have that with anything you do. You got to get up every day. I got a purpose, okay? I got to be passionate about it, and I got to be persistent. Because if you think life is easy, if you all think when you're going to get a job and you're going to say, "Man, I can't wait to get out of school," and life, wait. If someday, if you ever have the blessings to be married or have children or have a career and try to balance everything out and be involved in the community, it's nonstop, okay? And you have to learn, okay, that your success or you have to be driven by your purpose, your passion, and your persistence. 10. Life is best as a team sport. A good mission in life is always about more than you. There's no greater joy than working with a group like-minded people to preserve where we go. So whatever you do here, I am passionate in my job and the people that work for me. It's not about me. I'm a humble servant. It's not about me, okay? It's about us being a team and taking our talent. As a matter of fact, I want people that are more talented than me, to be honest with you, okay? And I think for all of you, you have to remember, you have to be in a team environment if you're going to succeed and get the synergy that is necessary to get to that goal. Now, I only put this in because I think Steve Covey has, I want you to understand that one person can be a change catalyst or transformer in any situation, in any organization. Such an individual is the yeast that can leaven an entire loaf. And what that means basically is all of you in here have the power of one. The power of one. So if you look at this, one person who changes her attitude can influence the attitudes around them. If you have a good attitude, hopefully that attitude is going to be a positive attitude among others. One person can envision a bridge, an aircraft, a poem, an idea, an atom. One person who renders great service inevitably ensures greatness for themselves. Okay? So I just want to remind you that all of you, in anything you do, whether it's an RSO, whether it's you're doing alternative breaks, it doesn't matter. Your oneness, your purpose, your passion, your persistence is and can be life transformational. Okay? Now, I do this. I think all of you need to do this. Even if you walked in my office, and I'll show you. This is one of my vision boards. Okay, I have all kinds of things in my office and quotes. It says, I saw this, and this guy went in this business, is now a multimillionaire with this one. It says, this is your life, do what you love, and do it often. If you don't like something, change it. If you don't like your job, quit. If you don't have enough time, stop watching TV. If you are looking for the love of your life, stop. They'll be waiting for you when you start loving and doing things you love. All the things kind of I'm talking to you about today is written in this. I can go on and on. But it says, life is short. Follow your passion. I read this every day when I walk in my office because it's a gentle reminder why I do what I do. But I have all kinds of quotes. And what you need to do is have a vision board. And you need to kind of set it up. And you need to read it to remind you that you are a good person. You are loved. And you have an opportunity to transform lives. But sometimes, we've all been there, and I've been there, you have dark times, right? And you get frustrated, and you have a lot of things on your mind, and the stresses, and all those things. You need to read positive things that can be transformational of how you look at life. All right? Now, this is my most important thing. Today, you're all going to take a lollipop when you leave. And if you want to take 5 or 10, take them. And this is why I just saw YouTube not too recently. And basically, it talks a lot about redefining leadership. And that on an everyday experience of whoever you contact, you have a lollipop moment. Okay? There's 1,440 minutes in a day. How many minutes can you take out of that day and bring lollipop moments? The power of the Word, the power of answering a Facebook, the Instagram, okay? The power of, again, transforming lives so that person can recognize their talents and that their lives can be changed. The lollipop moments are critical. It's not about money. It's not about power. It's not about materialism. It's how you act in a daily basis that takes a person and makes their lives better. And, you know, in the end, that's why we live. That's why we exist. And so I want to, you know, I have a lot of lollipop moments, but I had one not too long ago when a gentleman came up to me About 15 years ago, had a long day. I came home and there was a Kirby vacuum cleaner in my house. I'm going, what? My wife like the salesman in the, you know, and I go, I'm not talking to this guy. So he comes in, right, and the first thing I said, do you have a college degree? No, I went, that's it. You come to my office the next day. It was a lollipop moment of getting him to think that he had potential. To make a long story short, he came up to me about a month ago at a program. We keep in touch. Not only did he his bachelor's degree, he got his MBA, and he's got a great job at one of the top financial companies here. And I think, wow, I did that. Man, my little act of kindness transformed that guy's life. I had another international student come the other day. He says, can I take you to lunch? I said, yeah. He said, let me tell you what happened. He said, you were in a province in China, and you came up to me and said, you can do it. And then, you know what? You came back, you did all these things, boom, boom, boom. He said, I'm getting my degree in America, and I got a degree and I'm getting a job from next year. And you know what? And I have a patent pending here for a motorcycle company, and all that happened because you took one time to help me. Thank you. Okay? So today, you all going to leave, and you're going to start having lollipop moments when you can transform lives, and that's day-to-day leadership. Because that's what I ask my staff every day. I don't want to hear about this or that. I want to ask you, what difference did you make today? So I'm just going to end on a couple quotes. This guy was a great thing, and he says, too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, and an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn lives around. It's simple. It's a simple concept, but it's powerful, okay? This talks about living in the moment. As soon as you honor the present moment, all unhappiness, struggle dissolve, and life begins to flow with joy and ease because you're in the moment. You're not thinking about this. You're not thinking about that. You're in the moment. And when you act that present moment, awareness, whatever you do becomes endued with a sense of quality, care, and love, even the most simplest action. And just kind of ending, again, each of us can look back upon someone who made a great difference in our lives, someone who chose wisdom or simple acts, caring for an impression upon it. In all likelihood, it was someone who sought the recognition for their deed and the joy of knowing that their hand that made them better. We all will have people that will be transformational and help us, okay? And the last thing I'll just say to you, don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. All right? So, again, this stuff has been here for centuries and centuries and centuries. The wisdom I shared with you today. But please, when you leave today, take a lollipop, put it on your desk, and know you have 1,440 minutes a day to touch someone for the better. Okay? Thank you.